This is a huge red alert. This is all a massive distraction.
I ain't gonna give in now, I think gonna live this now. I be gonna beam and I'ma kill this stuff real quick. I'ma go take it to town, cause I gotta be that king in their beam. And I'm knocking them out when I'm back with the blue. Cause I am just up on the journey, just know that I'm just going insane.
Warriors, rise. This is a massive, massive warning as we head into the holidays. As you look this way, there's always another narrative going on this way. The FTX is a massive, massive distraction. Now, I know it's horrible. Many people lost money, but that is billions of dollars when there's trillions and trillions of dollars that is the actual problem. You are heading into a new monetary system. Problem, reaction, solution. But first of all, I want to start out with an attitude of gratitude. From my heart to yours, I love you unconditionally. The information I'm sharing with you is from 8 to 9 hours a day of research, a constant seeking of my own truth. I'm not here to get you to believe in anything I say. Rather, I'm here to get you to understand that you have the information available to you every day. And you can do the same thing. All I'm doing is presenting information to you to make an informed decision. I'm not picking sides. I'm not saying this person's right or wrong. What I'm telling you is this has been going on forever, since human history, repeated over and over and over again. So what we're going to do today is we're going to watch a video from crypto mom, Hester Pierce. She is amazing. Okay, Hester Pierce. I mean, you can see the frustration, the absolute frustration in her face as she's talking about Gary Gensler. Crypto mom is part of the SEC, right? And so she basically has been pro moving in cryptocurrency, right? And so she shares with us, yes, in the beginning, cryptocurrency is a security until it gets on its feet and it can transfer from a security to a currency based on its utility. It can separate from the company. So to give you an example, I mean, all we're talking about is FTX. Every influencer is talking about FTX. Do you realize we're all being played? Do you realize there's players in the game that are purposely set in here to distract you and I'm going to show you at the end of this video what's really happening. So I'm going to jump right into this because I want to make sure I get to the point of this properly. So we're going to narrate this with Hester Pierce, and I'm going to break down what is actually happening. So bear with me. This will be a longer video. Okay. So I'm going to break down what she's saying. I'm going to narrate it.
Commissioner, welcome. Just at the top of all of this, what is your take? Knowing what,
and by the way, she's an SEC commissioner.
You know, and having read the headlines and done whatever research you are able to do, what is your take on the FTX implosion and what happened?
Well, thanks for having me. And without speaking specifically about the incident, just to say generally, when you see problems happen at centralized intermediaries, it is what makes some people say there must be a better way, and they look for a peer-to-peer kind of arrangement where there aren't centralized intermediaries. But when you do have large intermediaries like this, I think a lot of what people also ask is, should there be a regulatory framework around those centralized intermediaries? And I think that's a conversation we'll be having in Washington. And
okay, there's two things to decode right there. So first of all, she said, when you have these centralized intermediaries, when these things collapse, it makes you want to have a peer-to-peer network. So they know we're going to a peer-to-peer network, okay? Bank models are switching. Number two, she said, when there's a centralized mediary, so just like the banks have to be federally regulated, right? So it's showing that those central mediaries need to be regulated, right? Because all these people lost their money. So there's two things that are happening, right? So she's saying, hey, listen, she didn't, but they collapsed the system of large crypto exchange so that all these people got hurt, all these stars got hurt. And so all the public is hearing is crypto is safe. So number one, this is to bring in regulation.
In the coming months?
Well, months, or should it be weeks? Because while we do know that FTX was domiciled in the Bahamas, and there are all kinds of questions about that because maybe they were more lax, certainly, about any kind of guardrails that they should have been putting in. You know, people are looking at what's happening here, whether it's with Genesis or whether it's with the fall of cryptocurrencies at the moment. And you can see the big drop off here over the past month, right when FTX collapsed. Bitcoin also lost several $1,000s. Do you feel that this is really urgent now?
Well, I don't think that regulatory policy should be driven by prices in crypto. I think there are really important questions that we have to wrestle with, and we don't want to do that in a way that's panicked. We want to do it in a way that brings in all the knowledgeable people so that we can have the conversation and that we can come up with a system that works and that doesn't favor one competitor over another. So that's really what we want to do. We don't want to regulate in haste and then regret later.
So how ironic is that? She said, we don't want policy or things that are going to allow one regulator to meet or favor one person or other. Look at the headline. Genesis Global. Oh, it just went away. Sorry. If you just saw it, if you rewind the video just a minute, as she was saying that, rewind the video. It said Gary Gensler met with FTX 6 months before the collapse. That was ironic. As soon as she's saying she's a commissioner from the SEC, when she was talking about people giving unfair treatment, right under there it said Gary Gensler met with FTX 6 months ago.
Oh, of course not. But what should the first part of this regulation really look like now?
Well, I think there are a couple of areas we could tackle. And one, at the SEC, we could provide some greater clarity around when something is a security. And then based on that, what the regulatory framework for entities involved with that, with crypto should be. And then on the legislative side, I think that they can be thinking about how they want pieces of the system to be regulated, including potentially having federal regulation of crypto trading platforms, if that's what they choose. And then we can be working together with the CFTC to think about laying the groundwork for further regulatory action and further legislative action. So those are some immediately doable things.
Okay, so those are immediately doable things. But here's what she actually thinks. Okay, let's take a deep dive into this. So SEC Hester Pierce, let me bring this bigger on your screen for you. Hester Pierce has seen no real movement in the SEC crypto regulation since she joined in 2018. So basically, Gary Gensler comes on in 2021 as Jay Clayton leaves after he throws out the Ripple case. And there's been no movement at all. There's been no movement in the SEC around regulation. And she's like, it's simple. We can come together. There's things we can do right now to move the needle forward. Massive distraction happening. So what they waited is they waited for crypto to get super over leveraged, and then they wrecked the crypto space. They're buying the dip just like they do with everything. Like in 1929, they're buying the dip. 1980, 2008, they buy up all the properties. They give all these people loans that can't afford it. People were buying loans that didn't have any income, and they allow it to collapse. BlackRock came in and balanced out the system. In 2020, BlackRock was tapped by the Federal Reserve to balance out the system. So why is all this happening? I'm going to show you. So Gary Gensler's PR stunt can't hide how he botched crypto regulation. So when they arrested Sam Bankman-Fried, Gary Gensler, this is all about him looking good, okay? So they arrested Sam Bankman-Fried, and he actually threw out the alert before I think who was supposed to put out? I think it was Department of Justice. Don't quote me. Yep, I got it right. So he put out his announcement before the Department of Justice to make it look like the SEC actually took action first when the Department of Justice did it. Then with the Kim Kardashian thing is like, look at us, Kim Kardashian. Look at us. We got Sam Bankman-Fried. What about Ripple? What about the actual investors that are being crushed by this crypto industry? Because you are here for your self-interest. You are here for your MIT friends. You are here for the politicians. And what you guys are hiding is what I'm about to show you, okay? Then it goes on. SEC Chair Gary Gensler must testify before Congress. So he's going to be out in front of Congress, but he keeps avoiding all the questions. He'll meet with all these other people, but he will not. He's avoiding all these questions, okay? Gensler's repeatedly dodged Congress at expense of investors. Hasn't publicly appeared before the House services since October 5th, 2021, leaving us to learn about the SEC's crypto investigations like the one in FTX through the media. So they'll report on everything else, but they won't tell us anything about what's happening with the SEC, okay, or with the cryptocurrency in the SEC, okay? Are you guys ready for this? Are you ready for this? Okay, so now here's what's actually happening. Take crypto out of your mind, and here's the distraction that's happening this way. So as you sit at home during Christmas, and we all are, totally bought into this commercialization of Christmas, and cryptocurrency is a fraud, because you're going to hear that. The first thing I heard when I got into the car was, are you part of the FTX collapse? It's like, you've never talked to me about crypto ever when it's positive. That's a good news. That means the public is being indoctrinated. FTX was billions. Here's what's actually happening. Do you see this do you see them reporting this all over Fox News? Do you see them talking to people at the BIS? Do you see it being reported? Do you see staggering news all over about this? Staggering volume of off-balance sheet debt is partly hidden. The debt held by non-US institutions could exceed 80 trillion, says the BIS. Did you see massive reports about this? Do you see people sitting in Congress about this? Do you see the BIS investigating people? A huge missing and growing pile of debt held by non-US institutions may total as much as 80 trillion, according to a report this week from a Bank of International Settlements. Okay, there's currently up to 80 trillion in off-the-books debt held by non-US institutions in foreign exchange markets. I'll explain what this is. The debt exceeds the stocks of the debt exceeds the stocks of treasury bills, repossession papers, and conversion papers combined. It is massively over leveraged. The large debt being unrecorded could be bad for policymakers trying to calm the markets and prevent a recession. This is your pensions. This is the world's pensions. The UK is falling apart. These are basically, they're trading your hard-earned money. They're trading your retirement in the FX markets. That's how they make money. They got caught when the dollar went skyrocketing. They got caught in foreign currencies. And now your money is an off-balance sheet debt, which is leveraged. They're not making huge deals out of this because this is what they fucked up. They fucked up. Do you hear stuff about this? You holding U.S. treasuries? Beware. Uncle Sam can't account for 21 trillion. This was back in 2000, 3 years ago. Uncle Sam can't account for $21 trillion. BIS is missing $80 trillion. But we're all hearing about FTX. We're hearing about Kevin O'Leary and his $15 million he got paid. These dudes don't give a flying fuck about you. Excuse my language. I don't care if I lose followers. They don't give a fuck about you. If they gave a fuck about you, they'd be reporting this. This is your hard-earned money. This is your pension. This is your retirement. They're not talking about this. They're not talking about the 80 trillion. Why don't they have people on Fox News talking about this? Hester Pierce is pissed. I like her. She's like, you know what? I've been with the SEC. This clown, Gary Gensler, hasn't done. Look at this. Look at the difference. She's poised. She's calm. She's ready to go. She's frustrated. She's like, this dude hasn't done nothing since he came into the SEC. I think you should get tired of people playing with your money. I should think you get tired of people playing you guys. So this should frustrate you, man. Oh, let's go a little bit further, okay? You need to understand what's actually happening in America, guys. This monetary system cannot continue. This is our debt. Since 1922 to 2000, let me make this bigger here for you guys. Since 2022, we need to be financially educated. We need financial acumen. Look at our debt, 30.9 trillion in debt. We got a staggering 80 trillion hidden that's over leveraged. Your pensions, they're screwed. They're stuck in offshore trading. You got US Treasury 21 trillion missing 3 years ago. You got our debt at 30 point. Look at this. Look at that. Look at this. Are you kidding me? Since 1971, let's get to 1971. Okay. Around 1968, when we had real money backed by gold, boom, 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 print money. Boom, they packed their bags, baby. And now here's what it looks like. Here's your great America. Here's your country, the land of the free, 124% debt to income ratio. Look at this. Boom. 1948. Bretton Woods was around 1944. Okay, we had the gold standard. Boom. We went to 1971. We started printing. We are fucked. I'm sorry that we're fucked. The country is fucked. The monetary system is fucked. Your pensions are fucked. Your retirement 401k is fucked. And if you don't activate right now and you don't understand that we are heading into blockchain technology, you don't understand that we're heading into software, data, information, and attention. That's the new oil. Starlink is up there for a reason, guys. I could go deep into this and, they would take my channel down. Starlink is up for a reason, guys. It's part of the new monetary system. Financial inclusion. Every single person will be on a central bank digital currency. Financial inclusion can bring 2.9 billion unbanked people into the system. You're sitting here fighting an invisible enemy. You're not going to stop it. You're not going to stop it. You have the opportunity right now to change your whole family's timeline, but it's here and here because it doesn't matter if you get wealthy, if you haven't changed here and here, because you'll be back in the same paradigm. And with Chat GPT, with all this AI stuff coming out, if you don't gain control of this and gain control of this and use this technology for good, you'll be trapped in this system even worse when it comes forward. Middle class is getting wiped out. I've been warning you guys 2 years ago, and it's here. It's here. Interest rates went up again. The American people aren't going to be able to afford a house. The American people aren't going to be able to afford to pay off their credit cards coming up after Christmas. Christmas is the catalyst, guys. When you look this way, there'll be a narrative going on this way because you're not paying attention. It won't be all over the news. Guys, this stuff is not on the news. They're not talking about this. They're not talking about this. They're not talking about this. They're talking about this bullshit. No offense, not offending people in FTX, but we're making informed decisions as investors. We need to make informed decisions as investors. If you get wrecked in these things, you have to make informed decisions, okay? You do it based on, if you have an O'Leary or Tom Brady said it was the best thing since sliced bread, that is an informed decision you made. Everybody blames the influencer. Everybody blames the athletes. I can't see if they had a CFO and stuff like that. I understand that. If you make a bad investment decision, then you keep moving forward. It's going to happen, guys. But you got to operate with discernment, okay? I've never been paid by a cryptocurrency company. I want to share with you guys how shady this industry is, how shady it can be, okay? I'm talking about the shady side of crypto that they're talking about, okay? I was getting offered thousands and thousands of dollars to pump cryptocurrencies. I have 1.3 million followers now worldwide. Back then I had about, 750 up to 1.1 million, that range. Cool off because I just kept saying no. I could have made millions over the last 2.5 years. I've never taken. The only company we worked with is Link2, who's been a sponsor of our conference, or sponsor of our channel. They are not a cryptocurrency company. They're a platform where you can go make an informed decision to invest in a company pre-IPO. It's a company, real world solve, real leadership teams, mosaic scores, looking at balance sheets. Those are real world things. It's not even an investment. It's a platform to allow you to invest and make an informed decision in an investment. Only company I've ever worked with because they're like-minded individuals. That's it. So Warriors, you got to understand the game. We're all being played. We're all being played. So I'm no longer being played. I'm playing the game so I can bring the money back. I'm not against anybody. There's no evil force stopping me. I believe in God. God's my president and Jesus is my God. Simple as that. Whatever religion you are, I accept you. I love you unconditionally without expectation. So wake up, guys. They're not reporting the 80 trillion that's missing. No. We're in debt. So if you're at 124% debt to income ratio, where's our country getting the money from? They turned off the printing machine. They're raising interest rates. Guys, they're going to collapse you. The middle class is they won't collapse. They'll take care of themselves. Here's what we're doing. They're moving us to a asset-backed currency, which is gold. Okay. They're going to back it by a digital currency. They're going to increase the velocity of money through on-demand liquidity, distributed ledger technology. Money's going to move at the speed of light. Every central bank will have a digital currency, and there'll be some type of mechanism that connects them all and moves that value through the system. Okay. Then there'll be a peer-to-peer network like XLM. I believe XRP is going to be one of those value systems, right? You're going to have QNT, which is going to connect Web 2.0 to Web 3.0. You're going to have Algorand that's part of that system. You're going to have R3. JPM's part of that. You're going to have Ethereum, which is connected through, I think it's consensus. So it's here. It's already here, guys. Bitcoin will be a store of value. It's going to be a commodity. So love you guys. I appreciate you. As we always say, Warriors rise. Do me a favor. Send this video to a friend. People are saying, even with the alerts or whatever, that people are not getting our videos. So if you can forward this to somebody or send this to a friend that has trouble understanding or understanding what's happening, that would help us out a lot. Make sure you subscribe, and put a comment down below so more people see it. Love you. Warriors rise. Get your shit together.